Top of the morning, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Jarrell Big Baby Miller. Jarrell Miller rips into Anthony Joshua, states that he has no heart, no chin, and let's begin. He said, quote, I think Dubois definitely does put an end to Dubois' career, but he's big money. They're going to milk the cow until there's no more milk left. Hopefully me and him can get it on before he gets retired. Dubois obliterates him. He didn't think Dubois was that fast, and we all know that AJ don't got a chin. Instead of waiting for him to run out of gas and yet out of rhythm, let me jump on your ASS now. And that's what Dubois said, okay? And he said, I need that fight first. He said one more loss and he calls it quits. One more bad loss, he's made enough money already. I give everyone the recipe to beat AJ already. He ain't got no chin. He ain't got no heart. Put balls in his face. He's going to quit. The same thing's going to happen again. AJ, you got to fight me before you retire, you punk. B-I-T-C-H. Those are the words of Jarrell Miller, and let me counterpunch. You know, Jarrell Miller and Anthony Joshua, they do need to fight. I agree with that. I think that Jarrell Miller and AJ will always have this Cold War until they get into the ring and settle it. You know, it's not good enough for those guys to every so often run into each other and have this spat out, right? It's not. No, it's more than that. I think it's a lot of animosity from both guys. Jarrell Miller did his job for selling the fight, but what he also did, he pulled AJ out of his shell that we never seen before. For that reason, we need to see this fight happen. Okay, those two guys that did not fight each other sold Days of Reckoning by themselves. Okay, when all of those guys were on the panel and you seen all of those guys lined up, and then some people said very little about each other. Philip Hergovic said a little bit of subtle things, so did Otto Wylene. But Jarrell Miller got it in and sold the whole thing. Bars. Okay, he did that. You know, and AJ rebutted. And those guys went back and forth, and they weren't even fighting each other again. So for them guys, you know, for one, to test Pop Dirty in 18, to be the original fighter, for those guys to come together again and have it out and have that type of emotion and interaction together still to that day, to this day, they need to get it on. Now, does AJ have a chin? Yes, he has a chin. I think it's his recovery, not his chin. You know, like the recovery of a lot of people are different from what you can take and what you can't. You know, you have to remember he's dealing with a guy that's bigger than him naturally, Daniel Dubois, that can throw those bows. You know, does he have a better chin than Jarrell Miller? No, he don't have a better chin than him. Who does really? A lot of people don't. You know, Jarrell Miller shows he has a beard on him. He showed that fight after fight after fight. But it doesn't mean because he has a good chin, AJ has a no chin. Okay, so that's the difference in that. Now, as far as heart, again, he got up 4 times. You know what I mean? So talking about no chin, no heart is kind of, you know, it's just throwing shade. But of course, Jarrell Miller can say that because he does have both. He does have heart and he does have chin. What he doesn't have is win. Bars. He couldn't handle and he ran out of gas against Danny Dubois, but Danny Dubois showed how hard he hits because he definitely has a chin, and it took that guy with that punching power to make Jarrell Miller do what he did in the 10th round, right? So I think those guys need to fight. I would love to see a fight between him and Jarrell Miller. And I don't think anybody would have any problems with Jarrell Miller fighting Anthony Joshua, because one thing is for certain, if AJ loses again, he may not come back to the sport, and we may never see Jarrell Miller, and it all will just come down to a bunch of talk, you know, which, you know, it's good to sell, but if you're not selling anything, what's the point of selling and talking? So at the end of the day, I do think Jarrell Miller versus Anthony Joshua needs to happen. You know what I mean? And, Jarrell Miller calling him out. And I will say this to Jarrell Miller, okay, publicly, personally. If you want that AJ fight, show up. Start doing some Shannon the Cannon. Start doing what you did back in 2018, okay? Start showing up at those events where AJ's at. Go to his gym. You're moving to the UK. Go over there and charge him up. Like, look, give me the opportunity. Yo, look, let's get it on. Yo, I know you scared of me, so let's have this fight. You know what I mean? And I think that would work because it's worked before. You guys tell me what you think of Jarrell Miller calling out Anthony Joshua yet again. Fight me before Daniel Dubois retires you. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.